Hi, it's Romy. Welcome to the channel Aquarius. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you have an Aquarius sun, rising or moon, then this reading may resonate for you. My soul stories are general, but they are designed to give you some intuitive guidance and heads up for the energies coming in for the month ahead. So let's check out, see what's coming up. Okay, Aquarius, let's take a look at November's soul story. So it has been a year that has delivered an incredibly long spell of introspection with so many planets retrograde this year. The addition of both Mars and Venus has really forced us to go inwards. But November heralds a really important change because on the 3rd, Mercury moves direct, on the 14th, Mars, and on the 28th, Neptune. What this means is that there is going to be this feeling of a tremendous amount of energy shifting and momentum starting to build, and you're going to have the impetus to start to step up, to create change, and to start to feel like your motivation, your fire, your sacred inner flame is being reactivated. And I think for many Aquarians, there's this sense of feeling like you are being prepared for something, a deeper feeling that is giving you this heads up that the energy shift that's happening now is leading towards something extraordinary that's set to completely change your life and really set you on a new course, a new direction. So we open up November with the Queen of Cups. Scorpio season, of course, the element of water, and the Queen of Cups brings that level of emotion into the forefront of proceedings right now. And it's important because we really need to tune in to what our emotions are telling us throughout this month of November. It's going to be a time when clarity comes, and clarity comes first from the inside. It's going to build as we move past all of these backspinning planets. And remember, when they do station direct, they can be a bit disruptive, yeah? So it takes some time for us to settle into that forward motion, and we're still in shadow period. But that said, as we move toward the end of the month, you are going to feel the profound shift. There may be some major news decisions that are coming in on the horizon as we also approach that big, powerful Gemini lunar eclipse and begin this final eclipse season of 2020. Now, the Queen of Cups is in a very receptive mode right now. Her hands are open and her head is tilted upwards. She's seeking guidance from her higher mind. She's still and she's submerged in the water. So there's almost this sense of wanting to be completely in a point of stillness so that you don't miss anything. And I think that's going to be incredibly important, because even though we're coming out of all of this time of introspection, you don't want to move recklessly or impulsively, because as you're feeling and sensing into what's coming, the build-up that happens between now and really into the beginning of 2021 is bringing up both feelings of fear and courage. Now remember, fear reminds us of the risk and courage of the possibility, and we need both. Both of these emotions, both of these states of energy keep us present, and understanding what our fears are and what fears are being activated gives us the opportunity to go deeper into any healing that's required and the ways in which we can understand how to soothe our soul. And that's really what the Queen of Cups is helping you to do through November, to identify where you might be holding yourself back, where there might be some hesitation or some resistance in terms of what's coming next. Now, on the 12th of the month, we've got Jupiter and Pluto conjunction. It's the 3rd one. We were visiting this energy on April 3rd and then again on June 30th. This final outcome, this moment of culmination and fruition around expansion, around transformation, your power, your influence, of course, you know, in Capricorn planets, activating your 12th house of closure, of healing, of endings. It's going to be profound. So pay attention as to what is coming up around that moment. See how far you've come, what you've learned, what you've recognized about yourself. And, you know, Nine of Swords coming in here is about the identification of where there may still be residual fears or uncertainty or anxiety about what comes next, or perhaps, you know, feeling like you're worthy enough to receive what Spirit and the universe and all of the energies are coalescing to now deliver to you, you know? This is about moving into a fresh new chapter and about feeling and wanting to be positive and optimistic. And yet, there are times when we just get in our own way a little bit, you know? And this is a month that's really interesting because as the energies all start to build and that clarity is starting to come in powerfully, sometimes that in itself can really lead to some confusion or some hesitation because maybe we know what we have to do, you know? And when we come to that moment of realization where there's no more avoidance, there's no more hiding, there's no more putting something off, when we have to face it and we have to do that kind of, okay, it's now or never. And, you know, really the Queen of Cups is helping guide you intuitively, smoothly to navigate through that process. But inevitably, you're going to second guess yourself, okay? We don't want you to do that. But this is a heads up that this is the way our mind works sometimes. And it's going to be incredibly important that you find some sort of mechanism, some kind of emotional tool, some sort of spiritual practice, some way of being present so that you don't let this get in the way of some of the things that are set to unfold for you, not only through November, but over the next few weeks and months. Now we're gearing up to move all of these planets into Aquarius over the next few weeks. And, you know, that's going to have powerful influence on your journey. And what we want to see is you feeling in a place of being secure, of feeling ready, of wanting to embrace and to step up and to step out, okay? I know that this is going to surface for you at some point or another. You may already be feeling into it now, right now, Aquarius, but what I'm seeing for you is that it's through taking a quiet step back and really reviewing and reflecting just how far you've come, what you've already been through, and how you've gotten through things before, that you're just going to remind yourself that actually, like, so many of these fears are not going to be realized, and they really have no grounding. They have no bearing here, okay? So the Ten of Pentacles comes in because it wants to deliver that point of something coming to fruition for you, and powerfully, okay? What is it that's on your vision, you know? Is it that unity? Is that sense of support and that family environment? Is it about achieving that level of abundance and security? Is it about finding something that you can be loyal to and commit yourself towards? What we're seeing with that Ten of Pentacles energy coming in is that there is this beautiful sense of wholeness that is available for you to reach, but in this place you can't see it, even though it's right here, it's right in front of you. It's right in front of you. Now, maybe for one reason or another, it does feel out of your grasp, and I'm not surprised if October or even, you know, aspects of 2020 has led you feeling, you know, uncertain or unsure about how on earth that could happen. But here's the thing, the karmic clear up that is happening and has happened all the way through this year will demonstrate, will validate, and will indicate to you the direction that you need to be looking in order to be able to receive what this bounty has to offer you, okay? If you feel on the outskirts of this, if you feel impacted by situations and external influences that are resisting or somehow taking away or stopping you from accessing or feeling believing enough that these things can be yours and that you can experience them in your reality, then back to this Queen of Cups. This is where you will find the wise counsel, the intuitive knowing, the gentle healing, the sympathetic listener, you know, not only from your own team of guides and your higher mind, but also I feel supportive people in and around you that can help you see the wood for the trees, you know, that I can actually allow you to see something from a different perspective that's going to show you that actually nothing is as bad as what it may look like, and actually you're in a far better position than what you think you might be. So we see you on this, what seems like a rather precarious sword, moving from one cliff edge to another.
and yet you look unaffected by it. This is really where I need you to be, rather than in that Nine of Swords energy. I think this is you getting over this, getting past it, moving through it, Aquarius. That's what I'm really picking up. What we see with the Page of Swords is that she's full of possibility, she's full of ideas, she's full of new inspiration. And again, in order to unearth that, it's the Queen of Cups, it's this energy that's going to illuminate and help draw towards, deliver the right messages, the right signs, and even the right channeling from Spirit to help you figure out a solution, a workaround, a way around, okay? Now, this also suggests to me news on its way to you, okay? Remember, we're talking about a building of energy all the way through the month of November. It will come in at different times for each of you. The news that you are waiting for, or perhaps unexpectedly, because we have a couple of oppositions with Uranus that brings, you know, some surprise encounters, some surprise information, and of course that eclipse energy in Gemini, which is acting your 5th house of creativity, of romance, of, you know, that heart chakra. So things that are meaningful and important in your life coming through. But the Magician is mercurial in energy, as is the Page of Swords, an air sign here, you know. So this is about your thoughts. This is about the way that you are communicating. You know, anything that you want to do in terms of your work, your purpose, your vocation, where you want to express yourself, written, you know, through language, the way you're speaking, the way you are launching, you know, anything that's in and around this type of energy. Really favourable as we move toward the end of November and all these planets are direct. That new moon in the sign of Scorpio on the 15th is in your 10th house of career. So anything that's happening for you at this time is bringing in fresh new energy for you to harness and capitalise on, okay? And what I'm seeing here is an ability to be able to make things work for you, all right? So yes, there may be a stumbling block or two, but you're going to see past it, Aquarius. Now, I think this is also going to be really important when it comes to relationships, specifically perhaps for some of you connected into family. Maybe there has been a situation, or there will be something that rears up that causes a little bit of stress for you to have to navigate. How do you deal with it? Open and honest communication, direct, no nonsense, say it how it is. You know, you need to call it. And in doing so, you're going to make sure that you are holding your own truth, your own integrity, and you're absolutely creating space for some of the new things that want to come into your life in the right way. Now, that Magician can be a little shape-shifting. You know, we saw him powerfully showing itself through the month of October. And as we move into November, we're still dealing with some of that. So there's lots of possibilities. Things are not always what they seem, and we have to go a little deeper to sense into what's really happening. Again, that Queen of Cups, I feel, is helping you to do that. You know, she's coming in very powerfully for you in this month of November, Aquarius. And I think, you know, on that emotional level, it is going to feel very, very healing for you. But this is power. This is manifestation to the next level. This is at a whole new level. So there's no fear here. There can't be, because you know too much. I think this is almost a tripwire, a red herring, a kind of a pretend scenario where you think your way back, you know, somewhere where in actual fact you're not at all. And actually you'll come out of the other side really quickly, and you'll realise that that loyalty to the new you, the new way of being, the new way of understanding what's happening in and around you is bringing in this beautiful sense of having the courage to look at all of the possibility that is emerging for you. I really like that. The Sun. This access to the charge of energy that relights a fire in you, that reminds you of something that you thought had been lost, or perhaps you had put down, or perhaps you just lost your way with a little bit, I feel is coming back around to be harnessed, to be embraced, to be celebrated. The way that you connect to your inner child, the way that you soothe, the way that you heal, the way that you allow that wound to be gently held and not allowed to get in the way, you know. It's almost like the warmth and energy of that sun, you know, she's sending that energy up to you in this scenario of the Nine of Swords, whatever that feels like it's it's closing in. When that comes, when that moment happens, or that shift of energy permeates your experience over the coming weeks, then know that there's also this part of you that's fighting, that's willing you forward and willing you on. Now the sun is also bringing in perhaps the energy of a Leo, or somebody that I feel just has that warmth and passion and vibrancy and wants to share it with you, wants to bring that in to help you see what they see in you, to help you see what you're capable of, what your potential is, you know. There's a freedom, there's a sense of reminding yourself of happier times, and knowing that even if your experience through this month of November, or even in your life right now, is not as light as you would like it to be, there's a returning to that time, but an even better version of it, because you have transformed and changed beyond all recognition because of what's transpired through this year as well, you know. So I love the celebration energy of that coming in for you, and I think you need to remind yourself that it is available to you all the way through this month, as that slow burn builds right through to this beautiful bright flame. Card of the Chariot coming in, linking into the sign of Cancer, that might be relevant for some of you. But really, more than anything, we just see this determination to succeed and to overcome things against all the odds. And that's kind of really what I want to remind you of all the way through this month of November. Unlike October, it's going to be much more progressive in terms of you seeing progress more quickly. And when you just take that leap of faith, when you just get back up, when you just keep trying, it's all the tries that you make that are going to make the difference of where you end up by the end of the year, and how you're setting out the direction of what 2021 is going to deliver for you. Now, yes, it can be chaotic. Yes, it's going to feel a bit disruptive at times. Yes, there's going to be a sense of urgency that's pulling you and calling you, and you may even be resisting it slightly, because I think where that Queen of Cups wants you to just be a little bit more passive and be a little bit more centered and still, you're also going to be moving through an energy that wants to speed everything up, because there's a lot to do, there's a lot to achieve between now and the end of the year. And make no mistake, you know, even if you've had a little bit of downtime or some respite or some kind of delay or setbacks during all of these retrograde energies, that Mars moving direct in Aries from the 14th is really going to start to bring things back with a boom. And in that third house of communication for you, of short-term plans, you're going to be wanting to cram in a lot between now and the end of the year, Aquarius. And I see you being able to do it with that Magician helping you to make the right call, the right adjustments, and really just trying things, experimenting, allowing lots of different options to be considered, but all at the same time still allowing yourself to move forward, you know. Again, this sense of just getting in your own way a little bit is coming up, right? We're going to need to just pay attention to this. Now, I also feel for some of you, this is perhaps coming in a little bit more in connection to a specific person, if I'm really honest. Now, this could come up personally or professionally, or perhaps be connected into a family member. It may even be a Cancerian or a Leo energy that we're dealing with here. But look, the upshot of this is that I feel there is no point in trying to continue to have a conversation that goes round and round in circles, where you meet up against an energy that feels so familiar. There's a stagnancy to it. It's telling you it's time to move on. It's telling you it's time to either try a completely different approach, or to distract your energy toward the things that are moving and that are flowing. Because holding yourself in that kind of a frequency for too long is going to be problematic and start to disrupt other areas of your life. And we can't afford that to happen because there's just too much that's supposed to be coming in for you. And that's sort of building in order to get you to the right place by the right time, okay? So, can your free will influence the timing of that? Well, yes, it can. If you want to talk about all of the reasons why things can't work and won't work, or you want to feel and absorb the projection of everybody around you that's telling you all the same reasons why things can't work and won't work, then you're going to find yourself feeling a little bit stuck through November. But I know that that's not really what's going on within you. So here's where your magician needs to step in, and you need to allow that aspect of the energy to kind of really demonstrate to you how you move into a different timeline, how you move into a different way of being, of thinking, of moving through the world, so that these energies are not tripping you up. Now, like we said, fear reminds us of risk, and taking risk is part of life. And it does bring a level of discomfort. It does ask to stretch us way beyond our comfort zones, It does pull us back into the past, to things that feel safe and secure and easy and want to hold us there, But what you have to ask yourself through the course of the next few weeks, Aquarius, is where do you want to be? Who are you without the attachment of that fear? Who are you without all of that stress or anxiety that permeate the decision making, or the hopes and dreams that you have, or what it is that you're looking for in your relationships, what you want to do in your career, the type of family environment and the social life you want to have, all of these aspects that make up your life. Where do you want to be? That's where we're at with this. It's like, yes, you can go back into the comfort zone, or you can just step up and step out bravely. And you can unleash the creativity. You can unleash everything that you've come to know about yourself and make the changes. And I see that that's absolutely available to you, because when I'm looking at what's being held in the center of this read here, it's holding steady this light of inspiration, this light of anything can be done. So you need to believe in yourself over everything this month, and you need to find all of the reasons why you want something, and you need to keep reminding yourself of that over and over again. Now, I see an apology coming your way, Aquarius. So what you do with that, or how it lands for you, or how it makes you feel, I think you will there's probably going to be a little work to be done around that, to resolve something within you and to help you understand the next move that you want to make, okay? I also see that there's a revisitation to something that is meant to be a part of your life. Now, that could be a project, an idea, could be a person, something that was temporarily taken out or put on hold, or you haven't been able to access in the same way, maybe even energy in some capacity, maybe a gift that you have, but something is returning because it fundamentally is an intrinsic part of your story, and it's here to stay. And so there's also this celebration that wants to come in as you recognize that and you make space for it, and then you fully allow it to become part of your world again, and you'll feel the joy and the celebration of that to come. Okay, let's take a look at the oracle cards and see how they are reflecting your reading. Okay, so you have completion and the energy of west. So the sun sets in the west, doesn't it? So we're looking at the beauty of a sunset and those moments that you capture. And sunsets are one of those things, and I know there isn't one in this image, but it's just the first thing that comes to mind, right? So when we think about the memories of sunsets, they're usually really beautiful, aren't they? They remind us of special moments that we've held with people in our life, or maybe with our animals, or holidays that we've taken, or just time where we've been able to stop to stop and smell the roses, to stop and just take something in, you know? So she's holding a jigsaw piece here, okay? So there's something about something locking into place, something coming to a point of completion or fruition, okay? But in order to understand what it is, we need to stop. We need to stop and drink in the energy of something, you know? Now, a number 4 also brings in that energy of balance. Now, remember, 2020, numerology-wise, is a number 4 year. So perhaps there's something profound about the completion or something locking into place by the time we get to the end of the year. And remember, all that Capricorn energy in your 12th house is about the closure and the completion, isn't it? Before we shift into this Aquarian age and really starting to go deeper into a complete transformation of your sense of self, Aquarius. So it's exciting times. But for me, I love that we are looking and finding the missing piece. Yeah? Wherever that exists in your world. That's what November is starting to deliver, you know? Things knitting into place in extraordinary ways, I feel, for some of you. Okay, so your Moonology card is a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. Beautiful. The scales of justice, you know, karmic clear up and new energies coming in, fresh new chapters. The romantic cycle may be out with relationships, you know, this could involve anything. It could be a new passion you take on, a new aspect of yourself you fall in love with, you know, your body, your mind, a new gift, a hobby. Could be, you know, the romance of life, you know, just starting to feel that connection again to something that really inspires you. But of course, for some of you, it may well be very much in and around relationships. And if that is the case, you know, again, we're holding to the light in the center of this reading, and we're not allowing this fear, sabotaging energy to get in the way. You're not as restricted as what you feel you may be, you know? And so if you think that there is something that is holding you back outside of yourself, then you're giving away your power. So take it back and allow the cycles to change, and then you're going to identify this missing piece that's going to come into play. You're the one in control. You're the one that's got the alchemy here. Recognize that, and it will be the game changer that you need this month to really draw towards you the abundance that you seek in whatever form that is. You know, more emotional security, more opportunity, more connections, more sociability, more love. It's here, you know, the radiance of that sun is charged up. The light bulbs are being illuminated. You know, the birds are in flight. Everything is moving. Look at the way the energy moves all through the center of this reading, even with the Chariot. So the binding up of the 8 and the 9, they don't really hold any weight or power. That's what you need to remember, okay? Aquarius, this is a general reading, and if it has resonated, please do drop me your feedback, your likes and your comments. I really appreciate. And check it out, you know, all the way through the month, because sometimes these messages make much more sense as they start to unfold, you know, through the course of the coming weeks. If you'd like to join me for the extended version of the reading, this is a general. I'm going to go ahead and pull us a couple of cards. So think about a specific question that I might not have answered, and we will clear that up into the extended and give you a bit more information. And you can find the link for that in the comment section or the description box underneath. It's a way to support my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So let's just clarify this Queen of Cups right now. 4 of Cups energy coming in. Of course, all this Scorpionic energy wants us to go deep, wants us to connect with our emotions. Ace of Cups. And I certainly think what's unfolding for you this month, Aquarius, is really taking you on a little bit of an emotional journey. But there's justice here. Look, beautiful. Scales of justice coming in to balance out those fears. 4 of Swords coming in. Sacred rest, important, you know. Taking a quiet counsel with yourself. Here's another 10 of Coins coming in. Maybe some of you have got some family matters going on. We'll explore that a little bit more in the extended reading. Fool coming up. Beautiful. 2 of Cups. King of Cups. All right. Do we have a Scorpio, a Cancerian, or a Pisces energy that's important? Card of Temperance coming in here. Firm focus in and around your balance. Okay, Tower. You know, eclipse energies we know are disruptive. But we also know that what we've been through this year has been disruptive already. So there's nothing that you can't handle. Okay, King of Wands energy is our fire sign coming in here. Another Page of Swords coming through here. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of communication messages and major news, I think, that it wants to make its way, is traveling towards you. For some of you, definitely connected to vocation, career, job opportunity, possibilities, launching something, creating something. Okay, we've now got 3 kings in this reading this month for you. Now, you know, the kings can come through as an expression of energy. They may well be male, but they also may well be female that are coming over with a masculine energy. Okay, 4 kings. You got them all. Interesting. The influence of people coming through for November is going to be profound, Aquarius. And one more here. Okay, great. I'm going to leave it there. I look forward to continuing this conversation with the extended. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed the reading. Enjoy November, Aquarius, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Bye for now.